My name is Desiree, and I worked at a startup company very recently, a YC-backed company, and they were doing really awesome things, and I liked the environment, and I quit to start an idea of my own, and that's what brings me here.
My name is Chandani, and I've been in the corporate world for quite a while, and I quit to do something on my own, and Startup Weekend, I suppose, is a good way to try something out, so that's why I'm here.
So I graduated last year, and last year I did a new product development class in mechanical engineering, and we had 4 months to put together a project. So shrinking that into a day and a half, no. I've never done a project that quickly.
Entrepreneurship is what's driving job creation right now, and if that's the case in a bad economy, I know it can be even more so in a good economy. 90% of the jobs that are created are by companies that are less than 3 years old.
So I think that's where a lot of the job creation is going to happen. Look at all the corporations; they have a ton of cash that they're sitting on. Nobody's hiring, nobody's spending any money, but I think all the startups are looking for people. And with a lot of people that have been laid off from the larger corporations, will start either creating their own startups or joining other startups.
I called up my MP, my Member of Parliament, and I said to him, I'm leaving the UK, I'm going to the States to start a company, would you like to hear why I'm not doing it in England? And he said, great, can you come in next Friday? And I said, no, I can't, because I'll have left by then.
It's a very, as I said, very supportive environment to start anything in, and there's no pressure, there's no previous experience necessary, and you can just come to have fun. You learn a lot even if you're not serious about anything when you come here. You know, it's so obvious, there's so much around you that you can't escape learning something from here.
And I'm here to learn some new skills. I want to have some fun, so I'm really hoping that I can meet some maybe developers, maybe designers as well, who are also passionate about making a startup, have some good ideas.
And I came here just because I really wanted to just build products and get practice, just prototyping and building something up really quick. And the type of people who come here are really cool. They're entrepreneurs who just want to build things.
I think of Startup Weekend a little bit like summer camp in the sense that you're all kind of stuck together in a group. You go through a lot of different experiences and emotions in a 3-day period.
Our mission is, as a nonprofit, really is to take this really valuable model for people creating these experiences, helping people connect and, you know, possibly learn how to take that first step as an entrepreneur in creating a startup.
I'm Shaharose with Women 2.0, and we're a pre-incubator for people who just have ideas and want to validate their idea and build a co-founding team. And for us, Startup Weekend is really a training ground for some of the people to join our pre-incubator. And we find it fascinating to see people who have gone through Startup Weekend and then who apply to Founder Labs. They have a whole different take on the startup. They get it.
The value of Startup Weekend is that it really allows people to test out entrepreneurship and see if it's for them.
I'm just going to ask, who here wants to pitch an idea?
Hi everyone, my name is Karen.
My name is Ahmed.
I'm Ryan. I'm a user experience designer. I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm a designer and chocolate maker.
My problem is that I'm not very good at personal selling.
How many people here have ever thought about changing their career?
I want to tell you about a place in Mumbai, India called Kala Bandar.
They don't care about the product. In fact, they throw the product away.
Does anybody hate Farmville?
I heard a really alarming statistic recently that 1 of 8 Americans suffers from hunger.
Well, I want to solve this problem.
And I have a very great idea.
What if there is something that gave you the willpower to just say no?
My idea is basically taking a bake sale and putting it online.
Solution is to use game mechanics to make professional networking fun.
We're developing a program called Fundraiser 7.
FindYourRoommate.com.
The company basically is to create a better Q&A platform.
Burn Farmville.
What I need are people interested in this idea. I've never built a game before in my life.
I would like to form a team to help me implement some critical simplifications, some crucial feature improvements.
So if you have ideas, mobile application, experience, contact me, Karen45.
Don't move, just hold up your number. Okay, now everybody in the audience, even if you pitched your idea, start looking around, see if you can kind of identify maybe your top 2 to 3 numbers.
I've found that most groups work best when they come up from the ground up. There are a bunch of people that got together and said, oh, you know, we have this need, let's do that. And those organizations are the best organizations.
Are they willing to support themselves with a team that's actually smarter than they are? I always say you have to support yourself with the best team possible, because you as an individual, you can only take an idea so far.
I think the teams that do best at Startup Weekend are the teams that are roughly 50% developers and roughly 50% business people.
So my name is Karen, I'm number 45, and these are some people that are really great to help me.
Our project name is WHAM, Women's Health and Mobiles. And what we're looking to do is address the issue of women's health in a slum in Mumbai, India, by connecting them to a mobile network. And from that network, we'll be able to provide them with different health education resources, health information, connecting the needs that they have with resources that are available. And it's a wide array of skills and backgrounds. So we have computer engineers, software engineers, graphic designers, someone with a legal background, humanities, like myself, many different backgrounds.
Karen spoke to something which I can identify with. I come from India, I grew up in India, and she talked about a women's issue which I have seen it happening. And so I really wanted to, be a part of this project so that I can give back to my community and help.
It's a really important issue, and I felt like it was an issue and an idea that had the most potential for impact. It was going to give me an opportunity to work with a lot of women.
I really wanted to see that whatever application I built is something which helps, is actually making an impact on people's lives.
Right now I'm having a little trouble finding some web developers, mobile app developers and designers, but one woman I was talking to, she has some other people who didn't come to Startup Weekend who she thinks would be really interested in and want to help out, so we'll see where it goes. I hope it turns into something.
If you want to test out.
What is the actual website? So it's a video-based portal. Imagine YouTube with a focus on careers.
Today we came in early to put together a case to go pitch to developers and get them on our team.
We're doing all this, legwork to impress the other two. The other two are tentative. Right now we're under probation. If they approve our research, if we look like we have initiative, enthusiasm, we can go pitch it and convince them. We get 2 awesome teammates.
Our idea is a marketplace for home-cooked goods, and specifically for local home-cooked food.
It's kind of like Etsy for home-cooked food. So if you don't have time, you have a very busy life, and you'd like home-cooked food, not restaurant or fast food, we have a marketplace to connect providers with people who want it.
The moment we knew it was going to work was when we got our first developer in, and he was one of our hardest sells, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then after that, he was just really into the idea.
They came up with the idea and convinced us, got a good team together. So thank you guys.
It's interesting because obviously as an entrepreneur, that's all you do. You go pitch. Everybody, you pitch to everybody, and it's interesting because the easiest people to pitch to would be somebody who's already excited about your idea, and these people were kind of excited. So if it's so tiring to just get even the people who are kind of excited into your idea, I can't imagine pitching to all the non-believers.
Because it's actually useful. It could be a useful application, something that you can do in a weekend, simple, and at the end of it, people could actually benefit from it. So either find jobs for people who work from home, kind of cooking on the side, and for people who are looking for homemade food.
I'm really excited about the people that I'm working with, and I think we've already come up with some good ideas, and I think my idea is definitely going to evolve, which is exciting.
So I guess the idea that I pitched last night was about monitoring your weight. So it's kind of in a similar spirit to this, and when I heard Catherine's pitch, I think we kind of just wanted to merge our ideas anyway.
I had to study a lot. How can I lose weight?
and then it was such a hard thing to do. So like, is there anywhere to have those kind of information quickly, easily, and then like more fun?
Did you guys come up with a name?
Is EAT worth it?
So I sat in with the group behind me and chatted with them for about 15 minutes. Their idea is basically to have like a mobile app that would tell people how much exercise they would have to do if they bought a certain kind of food. And I think one of the challenges that some of the other groups have is that they have kind of a complex idea, whereas their idea is very simple.
So we're going to brainstorm all of our ideas, post them up, see what we like, see what we don't, and see any innovative ideas we can come up with from it.
When you have a whiteboard and you're in the pre-product, pre-idea, pre-exit, pre-anything, there's no rules, and there's a lot of room for creativity.
So there's this interesting debate that I've heard repeated at several of these events. You know, are entrepreneurs born, or, you know, can that be learned? And, you know, some people are born entrepreneurs. They just have these innate gifts and talents, but many people are not. And I think the value of Startup Weekend is that if someone takes the chance to just, well, I'll just try this out, you know, they've just never had that opportunity before.
So I was a research assistant for Professor Jess Ganem at UCSF, and he told me about one of his students who was doing a postdoc there, who's now in Mumbai, India, in that slum, working with a nonprofit, Pukar, to address some health issues. And he told me about it and asked if I had any ideas. So I thought I would pitch it and see what happens. So we just had 2 hours of research where everyone broke into small teams and did research on a specific topic. We're going to be presenting that very soon so that we have an idea of what the problem is that we're facing, and we're going to narrow that to a single statement. Once we have that statement, we're going to be brainstorming concepts again, so narrowing and then brainstorming all the concepts. And then we're going to choose one concept to pursue after dinner. Another case study we saw trained women as peer counselors. So instead of having to go out of the community and get specialists, what they would do was provide basic information about clinical depression, mental health, and then have the women form groups.
They're pretty much having to change their whole cultural infrastructure of how they live right now to be able to teach them healthier habits of not crapping on the ground, or, you know, not going into the sea to use the bathroom. So I think it's going to be a very hard thing to help them with.
Women, you know, end up having kind of too many children too close together. They end up being highly undernourished, and all of this kind of contributes to kind of poor physical health.
Yeah, we found a study that, or an article that Vodafone wrote about trying to bring their technology into the slums of India, and basically what they found was like Vodafone couldn't just show up in a slum and be like, hi, we're over here. They found that the local shopkeepers are really the pivot point for a lot of people in slums. And the thesis study that we found showed the same thing. So we've got some good examples.
Extremely specific and solve just one problem. We're not solving world hunger right now.
I think what we've struggled with over the weekend is that our idea it's so huge. So we've really had to organize around how do we How do we divide and conquer?
So the goal is that we're just gonna pick something,
pitching our
and then
vision.
we're doing this exercise, and we're gonna make it the best that we can, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very limited, very discrete. 5 minutes. That's it.
Okay.
For
That's fine.
whatever we see happening. And I do agree that we should be as specific as possible.
Yeah.
And I like that idea of just choosing one condition or one specific disease or issue, and then addressing that using whatever we found with mobile apps or Google SMS, just addressing that as specific as possible. I agree.
I think we should choose an issue for which we know we can solve using this, and not try and take a complicated issue for which we have been trying to find.
You mean like mental health?
Yeah,
It's too complicated.
or even for, say, general health too. If you find that it's very difficult for us to implement a solution to, let's say, women trying to find information online, you know, or rather through mobile phone, that's fine. Let's leave it. Let's focus on domestic violence if you have to. And
That's very specific to me. We decided to kind of choose one that was the intersection of mental and physical health on domestic abuse, and is also very unique to women.
So I've been obsessed with the idea of collaborative consumption for quite some time now, and that's just the idea of empowering everyday people to engage in buying, selling, renting, exchanging goods and services.
Everything you guys have described actually already falls under this category of people who have not got restaurant licenses.
And this gives them a place to actually do what they're already doing.
And by playing it up a bit and saying, you know, do you really think that this person who would let you into their kitchen so you could see their kitchen is less sanitary than what the government, I mean, we're not against the health inspectors, but we also think that somebody making a dozen grilled cheese sandwiches in their kitchen is an okay way to make food.
And that idea of letting users really engage in these transactions without having to establish their own corporations is really exciting for me. And I think it's the tip of the iceberg, and I think we're heading towards a very collaborative style of consumption, and I knew I wanted to be part of the market. So
a lot of people are already doing these things. Maybe educate them also. Like, this is, you know, you're doing this now, this is cool. Maybe have hook them up with people and resources to actually like get certified and you know, figure out how to rent space from kitchens to you know do that.
While Chandani is here kind of getting the forces to do what they're supposed to be doing, excited to be doing, I actually get the privilege of working with a user who's one of our inspirations, and she's a chef, and she's obsessed with Food Networking, and she watches Food Network channels all the time, and she was so excited. I called her and I said, hey, we're gonna have a video guy come in and watch you do your thing. And she got so excited. She, you know, put flowers around, and she was like, oh, can I do this? Can I have like something that makes me stand out? And I was like, yes, you wanna do that.
The idea is, you know, a lot of times people are freaked out by the alternative of restaurants, which is just people, but when you realize that they're just people cooking in their kitchen with fun personalities, and they have a series of people who've reviewed their food, it makes it a lot easier to take that jump. So by tomorrow we're going to have a system where you can sign on, review, and that's a minimum viable product. So hopefully you enjoy it.
I mean, there are a lot of good ideas. It's the team.
Yeah,
I liked working with her. I knew we'd get along, and I think we're doing well so far.
I do too.
Like, both of us.
Like, I've wanted to solve the obesity problem probably since I was like 5 years old, which is really weird, but it's always been a goal of mine and stuff. So anything to just get the nutritional information out there and stuff. So it's very fresh and very new right now, but hopefully as the day goes on, we'll get some good stuff.
A lot of restaurants are starting to post their number of calories.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot, but some. And actually the other day I went to the movies and they actually had them there. So it was like pretzels and hot dogs and all this stuff.
So we definitely solidified the idea, and we're going to focus more on fighting temptation. So kind of we had a bunch of keywords up here that we were working with related to food and health and calories and exercise, and we kind of decided we're just going to focus on temptations that, you know, junk food, desserts and things like that, and just making an app that directly maps from that to how much exercise you need to expand those calories.
I took on the iPhone apps. I've been looking into that, and then I talked to an iPhone app developer that came by, and she was super helpful. So yeah, I'm learning something new today, and that's kind of what I wanted to do.
So I started looking up calories per exercise, And that was actually interesting because we found out, like, I was expecting just to find, you know, weightlifting and ab crunches and stuff like that, but we found out how many calories you burn in an hour of bird watching or axe chopping or chasing cows on horseback. So we decided we might want to incorporate some more kind of random, funnier exercises you can do.
The average successful entrepreneur fails 7 times.
Rejection is when you ask for an opportunity and you don't get it. And failure is when you get an opportunity and then you blow it.
Don't come out of the gates trying to hit a home run with you know, this is going to be the most amazing startup. You got to try so many different things.
And I said to them, I showed them a stack of business cards this thick with a rubber band around it, and I said, if you're going to start a company, this is the number of people that's going to tell you to fuck off.
There are certainly people that come to Startup Weekend, take one look at it, go through the experience like, this is too stressful for me, this is not my life.
There are plenty of opportunities to have rejection, but not that many opportunities to be torn apart and improved upon.
It is really, really nice, very supportive to have somebody else having gone through the same things that you're going through and tell you, hey, it's okay.
I'm beginning to take more risk, and I'm beginning to get more comfortable with that. Where did we leave off yesterday?
Yesterday we came up with...
Being burnt out? I don't know.
It was a very long day. It was a very long day.
Yesterday we narrowed down the problem. We identified one unique problem.
Domestic abuse.
And that we weren't going to try to invent new technology to solve the problem. We were going to utilize existing technology and create a human-centered process to help apply the technology to solve the problem that we had identified.
To like implement what she said. Get the word out there. Exactly what they said. So now what we're doing is focusing more on the human side of it and kind of human engineering instead of actual coding and product engineering, because there's already lots of advanced technologies out there. There's already lots of advanced kind of tech solutions, and they aren't really being applied to the situations that need them the most. So what we're going to do now is kind of look at, well, why aren't these technologies being adopted, and how can we translate the technology so that it's appropriate for the situation?
You get a short amount of time to present your idea, and everybody in the audience is going through this emotional high anyways because their product's coming up next or they went before, and you only have this short amount of time, 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes goes really fast.
So your audience is going to be everybody that's in the room. You're going to be answering the question, why do they care?
I think, well, first of all, the judges are looking to see, in the short amount of time that you came together, what were you able to put out? Like, were you able to come out with a demo?
You want simple. You know, think about, I always tell people, look at a slide, close your eye for 3 seconds and close your eyes. What did I show you? If you can't tell me what I showed you in those 3 seconds, it's too complicated.
I mean, we need to break it down into smaller chunks, but those are the 3 main chunks. So it's the work we need to do to actually write the pitch, then writing the pitch, and then practicing giving the pitch. It's a nonprofit. It's talk about the details that you've been going into about it's going to be poised to partner with other non-for-profit organizations. The structure of revenue that it'll be mainly based on grants.
I'm very nervous, excited, and kind of proud, very hopeful. I think there's a lot of potential. It's not so much about me, but as far as the idea, if you have something, maybe it can work.
The project itself, I think, is not going too good right now. We're running into a lot of hurdles, which is mainly by lack of experience on our part, I think. But we're having a lot of fun.
I'm just hoping that the developers show up at this point.
We're supposed to be several hours in of hardcore programming to get the thing done, and look over there.
I'd like to help you as much as I can. Unfortunately, I'm an idiot when it comes to
Developers didn't show up.
It wasn't right.
Didn't design it.
We didn't design it. We didn't set up the team cohesively enough.
People didn't show up.
People didn't show up.
He didn't show up.
I showed up. I came in late this morning because I was working on it at home. Because even the design, there are a lot of features that needed to be added on the technical side to demo it that are not there and we weren't told about?
I'm a little bit nervous. We ended up with no product to demo, so just gonna keep drinking beer and try and slow the heart rate.
I think one cool thing about Startup Weekend is that a lot of startups, there's no direct deadline, and so initially it's just you pushing yourself, but this forces,
deadlines are good.
Yeah, deadlines are awesome, and pitching to people is awesome, figuring out if your idea is good or bad, and then actually working with a team really, really hard for a concise period of time. I think that's unique to a lot of startups because they can kind of start slow and maybe one person works on it for a long time to get other people in on the idea. But one thing that we do want to use, like I said, is the advantage of starting here and knowing how to think quickly about the problems and then tackle the issues and gain a competitive advantage.
We're getting close. We can probably have a basic version running tonight.
So we are going to have a product that will work and we can demonstrate. We're going to have users. We're already also putting together a presentation about, we want to win.
So great, we're going to dive in and we're going to give a huge round of applause to team number 1 as they take it away right now.
Was there a really exciting opportunity here that actually could make money, and did the team have the vision to drive this through to execute on it?
Talk to you about Grubly.
All right, question for you guys. How many of you love food? We all love food, right? So there are people who love food, and then there are people who love food. Right? So there are people who love to cook and people who want to eat the food that they cook. So let's put them together.
So we get a chance to get a little taste of Julia's personality. We can look at what she's cooked. She has some pumpkin pie bread. Oh, we can look at her reviews. And it looks like we already have people commenting. And what's interesting also for me as a person who's looking to buy and taste her food, I can see that Julia is interested in responding to me. I can ask her, hey, what did you use? What's your special sauce?
I thought it was amazing. They already got somebody cooking on their show. Like, they had a bit, like they'd implemented their business model.
My name is Venkatesh Ramath. I'm a physician, and I'm here with Team MedRider Mobile. We're providing an innovative solution for the inpatient physician in the intensive care unit in the community setting.
I think MedRider is a hard thing to do.
MedRider, I just don't see it.
You're doing top 3?
Basically, the idea is if we're going to speak about rural entrepreneurship and female empowerment, we have to reinvent the way these markets function. So imagine if Reva had access to, directly access to the customer.
PowerPack is a network for teams to connect, collaborate, share, and hopefully pursue opportunities so that you as a developer, you can join PowerPack, form a team, start working on really cool products.
I had a financial gap, so I built up about $10,000 in credit card debt to close that gap.
So it's like, here's $50 towards who knows what you're going to be spending this on, right? And the gap right now, I mean, it's like thousands of dollars becoming tens of thousands of dollars.
Like
tuition, room and board, extraneous expenses. Like you're literally asking people to buy college kids like beer and like frat tuitions and stuff.
Okay, we think there's a revolution in travel. Travelers are tossing out their travel books.
How many people here have ever felt in their career like it didn't fit and they hated it and they wanted to do something different? We're not getting it, but I work with Brian and basically he's describing exactly what he does on a day-to-day basis.
Current calorie trackers require you to type in the food into an overwhelming database. Our idea, make it simple. Now you have animations of activities you would have to do to burn off the muffin.
We've created this thing called fan badges. Just got a new big screen TV,
So you go to Big Screen Baller.
I thought man badges, seriously?
I know.
Fun as hell.
Taking off.
But look at, like, for a founding team, they've got the right people, they all work together, they want a side project.
Yeah.
If you tweak that to be like dad badges.
This is Ben. We met last night at the Taxi.ly party.
Oh, Ben. Wait, what's your last name?
It starts with a T, Saitlin.
Oh yeah, you have the wrong person. You took me on a date like 6 months ago, and you never called me back.
I really want this app, but he didn't present what I wanted.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh yeah, contact.
I think there's a really good idea there, but he didn't have the elements that would make it happen.
So if you want to, say, rent a ski chalet, you don't want to do it with 6 random people. So the benefit is you can get tickets to events before they're sold out. So you can get to the decision point a lot faster.
How do you get people using this thing?
I'm going to tell all of my friends.
We live here. We have 3 bathrooms and 130 people. You can see how WHAM works. When something happens, if her husband gets out of hand, RT gets out her phone, and she can text, if she doesn't want to say it, and she can call to the unique number assigned to her committee in the slum. The WHAM server can identify her number and see which person in the committee is assigned to that. It'll forward her message to that person.
What else?
What about
else?
WHAM? That is the question, because they
Victoria asked the best question, where she's like, this is not a technology issue, this is a cultural issue. And to develop that before they know what infrastructure they're going to have in place for what they're going to do with those women.
Nonprofits and political candidates and organizations desperately need a ticketing software that integrates with their donor system, so they have a big picture method or look at donors, so they can go and say, all right, I need to go get more money from this person, and this is how I could do it.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a chance to actually vote. You guys are going to have a say in who the overall winner is going to be. Think about what teams do you think will actually maybe you will see next week, next month, next year on the internet.
Well, it was interesting because some of the presentations were incredibly well done, but maybe didn't actually have like a really solid business behind them. One of the companies in particular I was a big fan of and I thought would be very successful, but is probably illegal.
I'm going to announce the top 3 teams in no particular order. And if you guys can all come up here, we have Crowd Market. All right. Fundraiser 7. We have a couple of the guys here still. All right, and Entourage.
We want to give out the prize for the best mobile app that will help women in developing countries. And we saw 2 really great presentations here, and we cannot actually decide between 2 of them. And that's why we want to give a tie to Crowd Market and to WHAM.
A lot of times people walk away from Startup Weekend, not necessarily with a company, but either, hey, yeah, this is interesting, I kind of want to do this startup thing, or, hey, I met a really cool guy that, you know, might be able to start this company with me.
One weekend of your life, and you know, you can win prizes, you can meet a co-founder, you can come up with a great team, you can launch a startup.
So it's, you know, it just really opens your eyes to a different, you know, set of activities and experiences in the world.
I hadn't even decided to do a pitch until maybe halfway into the night. And then I just decided I'll go for it.
And my idea didn't get picked, but it didn't matter. Just the process of getting up in front of people and pitching an idea was very empowering, and it allowed me to meet people that I wouldn't have met. I mean, it was fun.
It's amazing to work with somebody for 56 hours because they're exhausted and they're under all sorts of pressure. You really see people's personalities. And so to come out of that and say, wow, you are an amazing person, I'm going to continue to work with you. I mean, it's an incredibly strong bond.
I met tons of really interesting people. I hope I'm going to be able to stay in contact with some of them, maybe work together in the future.
What I got out of this too was a lot of validation for my idea. And that's what I really needed to kind of kick me in the ass to get started.
I get terrible stage fright. But I just thought of my mentee from a program I was in at Cal. And I thought, well, if I don't do it and I'm her mentor, who she looks up to, then like,
How shameful, how embarrassing for her. Like, we need to set a role model, if not for ourselves, and at least for those who come after.
And 3 days, big roller coaster ride, to the point that right now we're disappointed that we didn't win. We had this amazing product, we think we had an amazing idea, and we learned so much about each other, and amazing team.
I'm really proud of what we did as a team and how we came together. And I've never been surrounded by so many intelligent and powerful women, right? Like PhDs in computer science, PhDs in software engineering and industrial engineering, product managers. We come from a wide range of backgrounds, a wide array of backgrounds and a wide array of expertise. And I've never had that.
To be around 150 other people, regardless of what you're doing or not doing, everyone's out here till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Whether they know or don't know, whatever it is, the effort they're putting in is extremely inspiring just to be around the people. So everyone has to do Startup Weekend.